This is the process shot. I'm Michael. I'm stuck in a haunted movie theater, and I've seen Moonlight, the 2016 romantic drama from director Barry Jenkins. It looks at three different periods in the life of Chiron. First, as a boy in Miami living with his mother, who ends up meeting and finding compassion and sympathy from her drug dealer. Then, as a teenager, where he's made to deal with the stresses of his mother's ongoing addiction and cruel bullying from a peer at his high school. And finally, as an adult, where he has become a dealer out in Atlanta, going back to Miami to visit Kevin, a childhood friend. Across these 3 points of his life, he finds himself grappling with his sense of identity, both in what his role is meant to be in this world, and most of all in his sexuality, which manifests with Kevin, who also appears within these three different places in time. The movie may have an unusual narrative structure, but it still manages to tell a complete story of Chiron's life and personal journey within a relatively condensed amount of time, maybe 5 or 7 days total. It helps that the film is pretty much a character study, balancing an exploration of Chiron and the events of his life with an exploration of his internal and external conflicts. There's a great amount of consistency between the three periods of time, in that despite the casting of different actors to portray the same characters at these different intervals, they still feel like a single person. And even if what we see of some characters is relatively little within the greater scheme of things, each moment that we do get is important to their development, the development of others, and the overall story at hand. Obviously, Chiron gets the most attention out of anybody when it comes to this, but for the most part, none of the other major characters are left hanging by the film's end. Additionally, everything that occurs ultimately has its way of playing into the movie's ongoing themes of identity and sexuality, whether in an explicitly stated manner or implicitly through action or inaction. Overall, the movie has a very tight script that never wastes its time and keeps everything we see essential to the story while still being presented naturally. As for Moonlight's aesthetics, a sense of naturalism seems to be key to the overall presentation. From the very first scene, there's an immediate emphasis on visual style, with an additional sense of floating around in an ethereal sense, which not only harkens to the films of Wong Kar-wai, but also feels like an extension of Chiron's confusion about his world from a young age. That confusion is reflected further down the road through other cinematography choices, such as sudden close-ups of characters staring silently into the camera as they speak in voiceover, as if Chiron is focused more on trying to recognize a person physically before anything. The whole visual style is designed to keep you closer to the action and the characters, putting your focus on their faces and body language rather than entirely upon their dialogue. Editing maintains the smoothness of the setting as well, not only between cuts, but with a few long takes here and there. Color and lighting design is also given as much attention as anything else, though it's something most prevalent in nighttime scenes where you can really take in the high contrasting shadows of a setting. It all adds to the somewhat mysterious ambiguity of the film and how it approaches everything, with a sensation as if you're walking through this world without really being sure of where you are at any time. In a sense, another means of connecting with Chiron. The end result in all of this is an excellent exploration of what changes about people over years, what parts of an identity are omnipresent within a life, and what may still be discovered even after thinking you've found everything. Moonlight. Barry Jenkins, 2016. 4.5 stars. I definitely recommend seeing this movie. That's it for this review. If you liked it, leave a like. If you have something to add, leave a comment. Subscribe to the channel for more reviews. I kind of wish I had seen this movie when it was actually new and in theaters. But, well, I've seen it now. That counts for something, right?